Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Monmouth County. My name is David Schreier, and my pronouns are he and him. I serve as the Congregational Council moderator. I know it's a mouthful. I try to ensure the central operating committees can function smoothly and get what they need to succeed. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you arrived at this beloved place, you are welcome here. Our mission is to create community, transform ourselves, and transform the world. This morning, we are honored to have Michelle McKenzie-Creech leading our service. Michelle has been a member of staff since 2009, serving as the Lifespan Director of Family Ministry, a credentialed religious educator at the advanced level. She is also pursuing her Master of Divinity at Meadville Lombard Theological School, deepening her dedication to ministry and education. We are delighted to welcome Tenson Liang as our guest musician. Tenson is a concert pianist born in Taipei, Taiwan. Currently, he is a full scholarship recipient pursuing an Artist Diploma in piano performance at Rutgers University. A winner of multiple international piano competitions, Tenson is also passionate about teaching, having instructed over 100 students. He founded Classical Music Express, a nonprofit organization dedicated to bringing high-quality classical music concerts to the Kansas City community. In his free time, he enjoys cooking, reading, and outdoor adventures. And we're having great weather for it, too, so hope that works out today. I draw your attention to the backside of your orders of service for announcements and service information for next week. For those on the live stream and for video viewers, the order of service link is available to you in the YouTube service description box. If you are new to us, please visit our website, uucmc.org, where you can sign up to get all the latest news of the congregation by email. We look forward to getting to know you better. Please put your devices on silent as we enter into worship together, and I'll wait a few seconds for you to do that. All right, thanks very much. Welcome again to this place of love and hope.
Good morning. Our congregational theme for the month of November is repair. We gather to reflect on the stories that shape us, the ones we tell, the ones we inherit, the ones we seek to repair. During my sabbatical journey exploring my family's heritage, I was reminded of the danger of a single story. When only one narrative is told, it can obscure the truth, diminish complexity, and undermine justice and compassion. But love calls us to listen deeply. And justice demands that every story be honored as part of our one human story. Today, they invite us into a practice of repair, of weaving wholeness where it has been frayed, and seeking connection where it has been lost. Let us carry these reflections as we open with these words from Starhawk. We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned. We can only catch glimpses of the time. So let me do that one again. We are longing to go home to some place where we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned. We can only catch glimpses of from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter. A circle of healing, a circle of friends, somewhere where we can be free. This morning, I have the honor of inviting my family to light the chalice. April and Logan, if you'll come forward. Our chalice lighting words are called Different But United by Pat Rib-Lichke. We come from many places, along different paths, bringing different truths. We come with different histories and different realities, and yet we come together as one people with faith that we can use our differences to heal ourselves and each other and to bring wholeness to a broken world. We come seeking to find community, to find acceptance of who we are. May our lit chalice remind us that we are a people taught by different stories, with many voices, one people working for a world where love creates justice and where justice gives birth to peace. Thank you both. Please rise in body and spirit for our opening hymn, number 1008 in your hymnal. The words are also on the screens. Our story this morning is called Maybe by Kobe Yamada and illustrated by Gabriella Broche. This story celebrates possibility, wonder, and the unique, unrepeatable gift of you. Each of us carries within us a spark of potential with which we shape the world in the ways that only we can. And yet, it's easy to forget how extraordinary we truly are. We might question our path and doubt our purpose, but this story is a beautiful reminder of the limitless possibilities that live inside of each of us. It's a journey of becoming, of exploring, of discovering just how much we can do and just how much love we can give. Have you ever wondered why you are here? You are the only you there has ever been or will ever be. You have so much to offer. Maybe you will enjoy something that no one else has ever seen before. Maybe you will build things that reach high into the sky. Your life is yours. Try as many things as you can try. See as much as you can see. Wherever you go, take your hopes, pack your dreams, and never forget that it is on journeys that discoveries are made. Maybe you will help others see the beauty in each day. Or maybe you will lift cheering crowds onto their feet. Do everything with love. Follow your heart and see where it leads you. Maybe you are here to shine a light into the places that have been dark for far too long. Maybe you will speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Maybe you were here to help in ways that only you can. There will be struggles. There will be fears. And it won't always be easy. At times it might feel really hard. And you might make a mess of things. You may fall down. You may fail. But you will also get back up, and you will rise a little stronger and a little taller, because there really is more inside you than you know. And the world needs your gifts, your talents, your big ideas. And maybe you are just getting started. What if you were only scratching the surface of what you can do and what or who you can be? What if you have talents you haven't discovered yet? There's something powerful, even magical, about you. You already have everything it takes to do big things. Maybe you have no idea how good you really can be. And maybe you don't know how much you matter. Maybe, just maybe, the world has been waiting centuries for someone exactly like you. Only one thing for sure, you are here. And because you are here, anything is possible. And so our story ends. Let us now bless our children as they go off to their family ministry small groups with "Go now in peace."
Every week in this congregation, we are provided with an opportunity to practice generosity. This is your invitation to contribute to the well-being of our congregation and to our social justice partners through the good works of organizations which receive half the monies collected each month. Excuse me. Our Share the Plate recipient for October is the Trinity Center for Community Food Justice Program in Asbury Park. Thank you. UUCMC has a growing partnership with Trinity. Michelle McKenzie-Creech spent 6 months as a student chaplain for the Food Justice Program. I work with them quite closely as well. Last year, Michelle and a group of our youth advisors and parents volunteered at Trinity's Saturday Soup community meal. It was a meaningful experience they plan to do again. For those of you present here in the meeting house, the plates will be passed by the ushers. You may also join this time of generosity via text. Send your offering via mail or charge your contribution online with a memo designating an amount to Food Justice at Trinity in Asbury Park. Please give generously.
Thank you, Tenson. It's such a gift to have you here with us today. In the deep, dark hills of eastern Kentucky, that's the place where I trace my bloodline. And it's there that I read on a hillside gravestone, "You'll never leave Harlan alive." These haunting lyrics by Darrell Scott, made famous by country singer Patty Loveless, tell a story woven into the land itself, a story of migration, exploitation, and survival. Scott wrote them after finding a gravestone with this chilling inscription, "You'll never leave Harlan alive." His journey to connect with his ancestors struck a chord deep within me because my family's roots run deep within those same Appalachian hills. I, too, returned to those mountains, seeking the stories of my people. But before embarking on this literal journey, I took some time to prepare, literally, and also to prepare my spirit. Now, my online shopping cart was filled with items for the trip. Everything from a professional-grade first aid kit to a solar-powered battery charger, tire repair kits, flares, blankets, and fire starters. One of the kits even had some chains for the tires. I was pretty sure that I wasn't going to need those, but they came with it. My wife, I asked her to check out the list to make sure that there wasn't anything that she needed, and she became a little concerned that my preparing might reflect a deeper need. It wasn't just supplies. There was a mindset that I had to prepare for, too. I developed a self-care plan, including spiritual practices, to help navigate the emotional peaks and valleys of family, place, and identity. And today I'll share some of the lessons from the mountain, lessons rooted in complex, overlapping stories of lives and cultures. In her TEDx talk, The Danger of a Single Story, novelist Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie warns that hearing only one narrative about a person or a place can lead to critical misunderstanding. As she shares, show a people as one thing, as only one thing, over and over again, and that is what they become. Stories define us, individually and collectively. They root us, challenge us, and shape our understanding of the world. I've always considered myself a storyteller, and my connection to Kentucky has been shaped by many stories, starting with my childhood. As a child, I loved our family trips to Kentucky. My father's family lived in Cumberland, up Clover Lick, a phrase I still don't totally understand, but it evokes a place nestled on the side of a mountain across from a sparkling creek, or crick, as they called it. Life there was simple, and I loved it. I was the youngest grandchild, often spoiled by my family. I spent time with cousins, aunts, and uncles. My grandfather played the banjo while I performed the most lively spoons routine you've ever heard. Someday, people, someday, I might bring it right here to UCMC. He mischievously would encourage me to march into the kitchen and yell, "Chicken shit," much to the amusement of everybody in my family except for my grandmother, who highly frowned upon cursing. I still treasure memories of sharing banana popsicles and fudge bars with him, a tradition that my uncle carried on after my grandfather's passing. It was a story of place, of love, of laughter, connection, and family. By the time I was born, my parents had left the mountains and migrated north, like so many others had, to pursue a better life. I grew up in the suburbs of Detroit, near Pontiac, Michigan, where cultural diversity widened my worldview. As a teenager, the trips to Kentucky began to get harder. I started to notice the poverty and cultural limitations. Media stereotypes of hillbillies made me feel ashamed. And as Adichie says, when people are shown as only one thing, and only one thing, over and over again, that is what they become. The death of my last living grandparent marked the end of those trips. An important relationship, a cousin that I grew up with, fractured over racism. In one particularly heated moment of teenage rebellion, now let me just say that I was a really good kid. I didn't have much teenage rebellion, but in this moment, it came bursting out of me as I tore a Confederate flag from the wall of a local establishment and stormed out at 17 years old. I felt estranged from my Kentucky roots. I began to reject a place that seemed to represent narrow-mindedness. Later, when I fell in love and started a family that didn't fit into the single story that U.S. culture, especially Appalachian culture, has carefully curated about what a family should look like, I further distanced myself. For years, I carried a single story about Kentucky, a place defined by racism, prejudice, and poverty. It became impossible, absolutely impossible, for me to see anything else. This summer, while on sabbatical, I returned to Harlan County, to the Tri-Cities nestled between the mountains on all sides. This time, I sought to see it anew, not through the eyes of my childhood or through estrangement, which was hard, but through the stories of my parents and my ancestors. What I found surprised me. The people were warm, kind, and deeply, deeply generous. The small coal mining town where my parents grew up were rich in reminders of my family legacy, something that I couldn't see when I was younger. I learned that the Creech family was among the first 6 families, European settlers in the area. They were not the first in the area. The Cherokee and the Shawnee were the original inhabitants. In the town, this is the Creech department store. Just a few doors down from that is I don't know what it was called. It was like a little ice cream shop that my mom worked at. Here is one of the plaques, and actually the most amazing thing about this is that we've returned, and where this plaque sits honoring lives lost in the mine with some of my ancestors' names on it, sits in the exact location of one of the homes that my mother lived in. We toured the cemeteries on both sides of the mountain, but these images from the cemetery that holds the ancestors from the Creech side of the family was especially meaningful. Throughout the cemetery, it's lined with tombstones and plaques with the Creech family name. My grandfathers, they worked side by side in the coal mines, and one of them was part of the historic unionization vote and the violent struggles that are called Bloody Harlan. There they worked. I learned about the conditions they endured. They were cold and damp and dangerous. I had the opportunity to tour the mine with my son and the rest of my family. But what was especially meaningful was that as we left, the person in the middle of this photo here, his name's Devin. He was our tour guide. He gave Logan a piece of coal from the mine that his great-grandfathers mined in. Logan walked those same paths that my grandfathers walked. I stood by a memorial wall, finding my mom's father's name listed among the heroes. My mother recounted how her father would come home covered in coal dust, sometimes so exhausted that he had to crawl up the front porch stairs to get into the house. When he passed away, she was only 9 years old. His family was forced to leave the company-owned housing. The whole town was owned by the coal mining company, which is part of the struggle, part of the exploitation. But after my grandfather died, they were no longer considered a mining family. They lost their home. My mom lost her dad. Her mom lost a husband. So much loss. Yet alongside these stories of hardship, there were stories of resilience, community, and pride. My mom was once the homecoming queen, the cheerleading captain, the prom queen. And as we walked around the town, she was remembered fondly by nearly every person we met. It was as though our family was like local celebrities. The danger of a single story is that it reduces people, places, and cultures to stereotypes. The problem with stereotypes is not that they are untrue, but that they are incomplete. They make one story into the only story. For years, 29 years, I allowed a single story to define Kentucky for me. But on this journey, I discovered a fuller picture, a tapestry of stories that revealed the richness of my heritage. Since the trip, I've reconnected with cousins. I've met new family members. These relationships have taught me that single stories divide us, while embracing many stories fosters growth and understanding. To truly connect, we must hold space for the full complexity of people and places. But it is not easy. Some stories challenge us deeply. I planned this service months ago, shortly after my sabbatical, long before the election and its aftermath. I've wrestled with the message that I wanted to share today in light of this outcome. I've struggled to trust, struggled to love, struggled to hope. I've struggled especially to embrace the stories of people in this country who frankly should have known better. People I know love me, but voted for candidates and policies that fail to recognize my inherent worth and dignity, or the dignity of so many others. And honestly, it feels like rejection, even though it's not intended as one. Yet, as I reflected on this struggle, I'm reminded of the lessons of the mountain. After grieving, after mending the heart, which for me took 29 years, we must ask ourselves 3 questions. What are the single stories that define my life? Whose perspectives am I missing? And where am I stuck? And perhaps most importantly, what stories brought others to this place? This is the work of repair. Not just of relationships, repair of our collective humanity. It is not, let me be so clear, it is not about excusing harm, and it is not about ignoring injustice. But it's about recognizing that we are all more than the single stories that define us at any moment. So let us commit to listening, not passively, but actively, with the intention to repair, with the intention to love. Let us listen to the stories of others, especially those that challenge us, and work towards understanding, not agreement, because we may not all agree, but connection. Let us listen to the stories of the places that we think we know, the people we struggle to love, and the truth within ourselves. For in those complexities lies the foundation of our shared humanity. And it's in honoring these complexities that we find the path to becoming one humanity. Not by erasing our differences, but overcoming the divisions they create. It's about healing the world that touches you, that's around you. The world's a big, big place. We can't possibly heal it all. But we can start with the world that touches us. Preparing for the journey is the first step. And then listening comes next, followed by repair if we're lucky. Together, they offer a way forward towards a world that reflects the worth and dignity of all. This is not an easy path, but it is a necessary one. Let us take it together with courage, humility, and hope. And I'd like to end with this thought, that when we reject the single story when we realize that there is never a single story about any place or any person, there we regain a kind of paradise, a kind of sanctuary, a place where we can find our authentic selves, a place where we can love. May it be so. November is Transgender Awareness Month, a time to honor the beauty, resilience, and humanity of transgender and non-binary people. This month calls us to celebrate and uplift trans lives. And on this day, so close to November 20th, the Transgender Day of Remembrance, I want to ask us to pause to honor the lives taken so soon by violence and hatred. In this sacred space, let us reconnect ourselves to the work of justice and love, to creating a world where all people of every gender can live freely and authentically, embraced by dignity and safety. And now, as we turn our hearts to prayer and meditation, let us be reminded of the healing power of love and the transformative possibility of community with these words by Gretchen Haley. Surround us in healing love. And then we'll follow that with a moment of silence. Creative force of love beyond gender, and of all genders, spirit of life. We are caught in a world we did not create, a world shaped too often by fear and shame. Fear of bodies and fear of desire, fear of difference, and fear of ourselves. Shame passed down generation to generation that results, as shame always does, in violence. We long to feel at home in our own bodies, to enjoy hair and clothing and makeup and gestures and jobs and relationships and roles, in whatever way feels most authentic to us, to feel free. We long to celebrate and give thanks for gender as a source of joy and pleasure. We long to know what would feel authentic and then to follow this path every day over and over again with joy. Forgive us for the ways we block our own knowing and for the ways we block others. Forgive us for the ways we have policed our own gender and others, our friends, our children and grandchildren, our partners. Release us into a greater and larger freedom. Teach us to have patience with ourselves and with our world. Remind us that unlearning the prisons of gender and also race and class and all the isms is the work of whole lifetimes. Steady our commitment for this long-haul social change work that is always an inside job. Surround us in healing love, the love that holds us in our struggles and in our celebrations, the love that bears witness to the full, tangled blessing of life in our own community and across the world, and the love, courageous, that alone holds hope for true and glorious change. Amen and blessed be. Now let's take a moment of silence and remembrance. Amen. Our closing hymn, which is the number of it, if you have a hymnal, is incorrect in the order of service, but it is on the screen with the correct number, is Building a New Way. Please rise in body and spirit and join me in singing. Our closing words come to us from L.R. Nost. Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things break, and all things can be mended. Not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go, love intentionally, love extravagantly, love unconditionally. The broken world waits in darkness for the light that is you. Go in love and go in peace. But before you go, please remain for our postlude.